Hello viewers, Super GT here. Welcome to a video on Assetto Corsa Competizione. So the main idea of this one is I'm going to find out whether or not I can lap as quick as I can in chase cam compared to the cockpit view. So I'm something of a console peasant, so sim racing in the cockpit view is a little bit alien to me, or, playing on a wheel. But I think when I'm playing a sim, that's the proper way to play it. In the cockpit view with the wheel. But I'm going to attempt to see whether or not it's possible in this game or this sim to use the chase cam. You can see the setup I'm using there, so just a little bit different compared to the standard. So here's how this is going to work. I did 5 laps in the cockpit view, as we can see here. This is my best lap of the 5, and then straight after that I'm going to do 5 laps in chase cam and just see how it compares, basically. Just see whether or not I can be as fast, whether or not I can be as consistent, and well, that's basically it. Let's see if it's possible. So this is the cockpit view lap. So deciding to go with this view rather than the one with the wheel, felt like this was actually the best one for hot lapping. So you can actually get a slightly clearer view of the curbs as you're slightly further forwards compared to the other view. So down towards turn 6. Hooking up nicely and then powering out using as much of the curbs as you can. The curbs are really kind of sketchy on this. I noticed, like, you can take them, and I think sometimes you do need to take them if you want ultimate speed throughout the lap, but you do have to watch out because the car doesn't always react very nicely with the curbs, especially the curb on the right there. Normally take that on let's say Gran Turismo, you just take all of it and it's quite easy, but here car really does react a lot more to every little input that there is. But the lap going rather well so far. You see the times on the left hand side there, a 1:52.7, which is number 1 in the world. I'm nowhere near that kind of pace, but current best lap 56.6, and I'm currently half a second up as we come round towards the final chicane on the lap. We're not running the NGK chicane, which is left there, taking this second chicane, which is a lot faster, carrying more speed through, and then into the final turn of the circuit. So still 5 temps up, or near enough 6, actually no, going down to 5 temps, just below 5 temps up. So as we cross the line, it's a 56.2, near enough. So that's the benchmark which I have to beat. Now in chase cam, here we go then. Sim racing is I'm committing a crime against sim racing here by going cockpit view, but I just wanted to see if it's possible. And yes, I'm using the wheel for this because I did try with the controller, but the button mapping is absolutely messed up, and I suppose it is only in the early stages, this game, so they do make a little note of it in the control section that there aren't really many options and it's not well optimised just yet. So I couldn't really do a controller test, although that could be something we could do later on. So that's something to watch out for. But for now, we're going to be doing this with the wheel. So the wheel I'm using is a Thrustmaster TX, and I'm using the 599XX Alcantara rim with the T3PA Pro pedals. So that's the equipment on offer here. The only difference really is, of course, the viewpoint. So in the first run, you can see the Ghost there. That's the cockpit view lap compared to the chase cam. So I've lost about 3 temps here. The Ghost, incidentally, if you're wondering why it's changing colour, when it's accelerating it goes green, when it's braking it goes red, when it coasts it kind of goes a bit orange. So you can see there, a bit of coasting into the Schumacher S. Wasn't quite confident on the Ghost lap to go through there flat out. I don't think you can quite do that. So at this point here, first lap in in chase cam, about 7 temps down at this point, which isn't too much, I suppose. The ideal situation would be that both are kind of equal, but it's not always equal. It's not always easy to exactly equal your lap, even if the two views are equal. It's not always easy for me to kind of do exactly the same lap again. So first time around, so yeah, just sliding through the final corner. The car quite difficult to control when it gets a little bit wrong. and we're actually just over a second down that time. So 57.285, so about 1.1 seconds slower. But that was only our first lap. We can go quicker than that. Just coming down into turn 1, going into first gear, and then going over to the right hand side and just sort of letting the car just roll in, patient on the throttle, and then accelerate back out. Kind of really open that corner up. Turn 3, haven't really done it here, but you kind of got to really abuse that curb on the inside. Get 2 wheels well over that. Apex there. You can run a little bit wide here. You do get the notification that you've extended the corner sometimes, but you can just about run the entire car width beyond the line. Only a tiny amount though. And we've just about done that. So once again, just over a tenth off here. As we come down the hill, you see the Ghost just getting away from us. 2 tenths of the gap then into here. And I think the Ghost lap did a really good attempt at this corner. You can see here what I've done. Go really deep and then you kind of square off the corner, get the power down and go and just power out up towards Schumacher S. So the car kind of squirming on entry, not quite as easy to control. I think in chase cam I can be as quick or near enough as quick, but it's a little bit harder to control, and especially when it goes wrong, that's when it's really hard to control. So that's my main observation so far. I think the pace is near enough there, and I think chase cam still does have an advantage in that, and you notice it definitely. I noticed it definitely coming through this chicane here, so you can just see everything a lot easier. There's these massive concrete bollards on the inside of those curbs there, and well, there's a massive chunk of something which is there basically to prevent you cutting it, and it just destroys you if you hit it. But in this view, it's a lot easier to see, and you can really run a lot closer. So that is the main advantage, I would say, of this viewpoint. You can just see exactly where the car is, the exact left-hand side of the car, the exact right-hand side of the car. So it's a little bit easier to kind of manage track limits, I think, in this view. But on the whole, it's a little bit harder to control. That's the main disadvantage. So lap number 2 there, 57.0, so slightly quicker, but about just under 3 tenths. But it'd be nice to dip into the 56s. So within a second, I suppose that's not too much of a difference. And I am somewhat pushing. I'm going for the best lap. I'm really concentrating, and I was on the cockpit view, getting consistent low 56 or mid 56s, and then managed the 56.2 there, or the 199. And here, second lap, or now on the third lap, low 57s twice. So consistency is there. You see that I've done 2 low 57s in a row. So the consistency is definitely available. You can do consistent laps. A little bit of a squirming action on the exit of the hairpin into the Schumacher S, just grazed in the curb, taking that nicely actually. And again, you can just see the track limits and just pushing a little bit too much as we graze our left-hand wheels into the gravel on the left, a little bit wide through this turn. And it's really trying to maximise the width on the entry to this, and just kind of again not quite really getting hold of the grip on the way in, and the car kind of squirms again. So I think that controllability is a little bit harder in this view on the whole, but you can see here, I think this is proof that it's definitely playable. What I would say is that the viewpoint in Assetto Corsa, the original one, I didn't really like it very much, and to be fair, I never really used it, not too much. But I always feel as though, as I've said, these games or sims deserve cockpit view for full immersion, and I've actually binned it there. You see that this is kind of something that I said. When you begin to make a mistake, it is very hard to control in this view. I feel it's a lot easier in the cockpit. So we're going to go again. And so that we're going to say that that's a completed lap, but unfortunately that would have slowed down the beginning of my next lap. So we've still got 2 laps remaining, shall we say here, to complete a better lap. It would be nice to get within, let's say, half a second. I think that's very close indeed. And to be fair, I think my cockpit lap was actually a good lap for me. I pulled it out of the bag, and that's about as good as it'll get for me. I could scrape into the 55s. The setup I've got, I don't know the best setups or anything, but I suppose this test is fair. I'm using the same setup for the cockpit and the chase cam. Ran a little bit wide, kind of panicked, and again, when it goes wrong, it goes wrong. It's hard to control. So we're going to abort this lap and go again into the final chicane. And you can see I've just clipped that little concrete thing on the inside, and it's just really unsettled the car. So that's just a sign of another mistake. But we're going to go again on the run up to the final corner. So we've got one more lap to try to get a little bit closer. We've done a 57.0 with a 56.2 to beat, 8 tenths off. Let's see if we can go a little bit closer here towards that cockpit view lap time. So watching the delta on the top left of the screen. So currently 0.000. Actually go through the first corner, it just goes down a little bit and gains. But I notice in this game it kind of when the ghost is inside you, it just says 0.000. You can't really decide if you're ahead or not. So if we turn 3, getting quite close to the apex, you can definitely gain a lot of time by really getting 2 wheels well over that curb, which is still within the limits, but it looks a bit shady if I'm honest. Okay, into turn 5, this is where time can really easily be lost through turn 6 especially, because if you go a little bit wide like this, you do lose the drive on the way out. You can see that the ghost is pulling away, opening up a couple of attempts. So really, something I noticed really is really important is to get really close to some curbs so that you can get the power as early as possible. Getting on the power as early as you can, it saves you so many attempts. And you can see I've lost another couple of attempts here as the ghost got a really good sort of line in, goes deep, squared off the corner, then accelerated out. I sort of darted out of the hairpin and got a really good drive. Didn't quite manage to equal that. So going through into the back straight, about 5 tenths down or 6 tenths down. I know that I think the chicane is where I can gain because of the viewpoint, because I can see exactly where that curve is. A massive concrete thing or whatever it is, I can just see what it is, I can see where it is. So through here I can be a little bit more committed, I felt, compared to the cockpit. And coming up through here, still 6 tenths behind, going a little bit too deep, kind of over-committed on the way in. And on the exit, it's going to be about 6 tenths down, actually just below that. And across the line, and it's a 56.8, so yeah, about 6 tenths down in the end. So on the whole, my findings are that I can pretty much be equal in the chase cam compared to the cockpit view. But I found it a little bit more tricky to control the car, especially when I made mistakes. The main advantage is that you can see the size of the car, you can manage the track limits a little bit better, and I suppose if you're in a race you can see the AI a lot better in chase cam. So there are advantages to it. On the whole though, for immersion, you know, you're playing a sim because you want it to be realistic. I'd say the best thing to do is play it in the cockpit view. But ultimately, just do whatever you want. If you buy the game, you play it however you want to play it. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Thank you very much for watching as always. Do subscribe for more if you're new to the channel. And hit the like button if you found this in some vague way useful or entertaining somehow. But there we go. I do hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. I shall see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Listen.